Wanderlieb ich für mein Leben, lebe eben wie ich kann. Wollt ich mir doch Mühe geben, passt es mir doch gar nicht an.
Dear Diary, it's been a while since I've spoken to you, my darling. But tonight, something utterly disturbing unfolded, and you're the only one I can trust with this nightmare. Let me start from the beginning, so you can understand this horror. Death is a funny thing. Not the kind that sparks laughter, but one that mocks our feeble grasps at understanding it. Not that I am an expert on it, because I too am still alive. Yet, in the frozen hellish years of my time in Siberian prison, I danced on its edge. I remember the time when I could barely walk, dragging my shattered body across icy floors, every bone screaming in agony. And it was not just my legs that were in pain. It was my whole body. Excruciating pain from my brain to my ribs made it very hard for me to do basic things like breathing. Cold, starved, and crippled was the perfect invite for the Grim Reaper, like a lover's call. But I always managed to avoid his grasp. Those days are long gone, and now I can roam free in the forest. As I foraged through the forest, a faint whimper sliced the air. I spun around to face a grotesque, pulsating sac, a cocoon, swollen and veined like a tumor. But there was no insect squirming in it. Instead, I saw limbs thrashing around and a pale little face gasping for air. I tugged at the flailing arms and out tumbled a fully grown human, slick with viscous fluid, eyes wide with vacant confusion. I was shocked. I had never seen such a sight as this. "How did you end up in this cocoon?" I asked. The human shrugged its shoulders and seemed oblivious to my question. I, Anastasia, had dreamed of another soul in this wilderness. Perhaps a companion at last. As we walked through the forest, the morning sun flooded the forest canopy, and the leaves looked like golden shimmering gems. The human shrieked, crumpling to the floor. "What's the matter?" Panic clawed at me. I was worried that the human had hurt itself somehow. "The sun's rays are so strong, it's going to burn a hole through my flesh, char me to the bone," the human cried out. "Silly thing," I soothed. "The trees shield us in shadow, and isn't the warmth exquisite, like a forbidden caress?" The human scowled and looked very upset. As we trudged deeper, the wind blew and the dry leaves tossed up into the air, as if it were doing a little dance. I smiled. How wonderful to witness nature's raw vitality. "Why are you so joyous, Anastasia? Your life must be flawless," the human shrieked. "No," I countered, baffled by its venom. "I'm just relishing a moment." "But what is a moment?" asked the human. "Well, a moment is a small piece of time. In my years at Siberian prison, The days were long and dark, but ever so often I'd see a little bit of sun streaming through a microscopic hole in the wall. Just to see that little tiny ray of sunlight was a small moment that gave me hope and courage for each day. I said to the human. "Prison sounds cozy," the human muttered. What a strange thing to say, I thought to myself. We soon came across an apple tree, heavy with crimson fruit. I climbed up high and plucked the jewels of juice from the tree. The human made no attempt to climb the tree. It lingered below, inert. "Is something the matter?" I asked. The human sighed. "I'm not like you, Anastasia. I can't just climb. Can't anything." "Why not?" I asked. "You have strong legs that work perfectly well." The human didn't respond, but started to get more and more agitated at me. It was almost as if my existence was sheer blasphemy. "Have some of my apples," I gestured to the human. The human threw the apples on the floor and started running deeper into the forest. "Wait!" I cried out. "It's getting dark. Wild creatures can attack you." Its powerful legs devoured distance. I couldn't catch up. My crippled leg buckled, muscle tearing like wet paper. I crashed, howling. My friend the hawk heard my cries and swooped in. "What's wrong, Anastasia?" "Oh, the human has wandered off into the forest. It doesn't know its way. Wild demonic creatures can rip it to shreds. We must look for it," I pleaded with the hawk. And so the hawk perched on my shoulder and we slowly traversed the forest floor. We searched for hours into the dark night, but to no avail. "It's all my fault," I wept. "I should have stopped it from running off like that, but my pathetic weak legs have failed me." The human is probably dead, ripped to shreds by the demonic creatures that lurk in the night. Everything inside me ached from agony. What a terrible, wretched feeling to know I was responsible for someone's death. I, Anastasia, am a murderer. The mental agony was so overbearing that I collapsed from exhaustion into the mud with visions of shredded flesh. Dawn came. I hauled myself up, caked in filth, and limped on. I tripped over a buried bulge and fell to the ground. I looked to see what caused me to trip, only to see a cocoon, half submerged in thorns. A human face peering out, serene in decay. This was the same human who we spent all night looking for. "Let me pull you out," I shouted. "No, don't you dare, Anastasia. I belong here," the human hissed furiously. Shocked at the hostility, I retreated. I do not understand why a fully grown human would want to be in a cocoon. Cocoons birth baby insects. Adults flee. Yet this one chose chains. Why crave this silken tomb? "Not all crave the fight, Anastasia," the hawk whispered. "But why reject life? Life is such a feast compared to death's doom." Then it dawned on me. This human had a beating heart, fled with vigor, yet its soul was ash. It was already long dead, even before the sack claimed it. The cocoon wasn't metamorphosis. It was a coffin woven from threads of despair, safe in self-imprisonment, where light couldn't scorch and wind couldn't mock. The realization clawed my mind apart. How does one choose the grave while still warm? Anastasia, let it rot, urged the wise hawk. This is just a useless human. Even the dry leaves dancing in the air has more life than this human. It recoils from your fire. Cut it loose! The hawk's words were like a rusty sword that cut through my heart. I'm such a blind fool. I had chased a corpse. No resilience without adversity, the hawk added. But who would thirst for adversity, I wondered. Storm clouds gathered and the sky got very dark. It started to pour. Rain lashed like whips. Thunder growled hungrily. Seek shelter, Anastasia. It's a bad day today. The sky weeps blood, the hawk shouted. No, I roared. There is no such thing as a bad day. Every day is a good day. As long as my heart beats, the dawn is victory. The hawk's eyes gleamed approval. You know what? I said as I turned to the hawk. Sometimes that I think that maybe prison wasn't so bad after all. Laughed the hawk. You must be truly mad, Anastasia, to say such a bizarre thing like that. Ah, I replied. I may be mad, but at least I am still very much alive. And that is the ultimate defiance.
Mag dir Gott ein Mann bescheren, hol mit 1000 Hof versehn, wenn wir zwei